Hello and welcome to the webinar. So as mentioned in the webinar, we will cover the benefits and introduction of BigCommerce as an hosted e-commerce platform, its benefits, some of the trends, some analysis of having hosted e-commerce solution over the standard e-commerce platforms which are available in the market. And then we will move forward with the integration of BigCommerce and the benefits of integrating this e-commerce platform with the back-end ERP systems. So this webinar is jointly organized by InSync and BigCommerce to cover this topic. And along with me in the webinar, my name is Shubhajit and I'm from InSync Solutions. And Derek is here in this webinar co-presenting with me, and he's from BigCommerce. So first, Derek will start the session and discuss discuss the benefits and the ideology and the community behind the BigCommerce hosted e-commerce platform. And then I'll move forward with the integration between BigCommerce and the backend ERP systems. So Derek, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, over to you. I'm just going to make you the presenter.
Okay. All right, everyone can see my you can see my screen, okay?
Yeah, just Derek, it will take I think 1-2 seconds, and then we will be able to see this. Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay, excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much. Definitely appreciate everyone's time, and certainly appreciate InSync for helping putting this together. And I'm excited to be speaking with everyone today. As you mentioned, I'm with BigCommerce, and I am the partner executive here, based out of Sydney, Australia, overseeing Asia Pacific. And yeah, so what I wanted to just talk about was just a little bit about BigCommerce and just kind of then our entire ecosystem and how, just teach you a little bit about that. BigCommerce is the fastest growing e-commerce platform in the world. We have more than 55,000 stores in 65 countries, powered more than $3 billion in sales, with offices in Austin, Texas, Sydney, as where I am, in San Francisco. Just a little backstory. BigCommerce was founded in 2009 by two engineers, Mitch and Eddie. And we're actually just over 400 employees now between those three offices. 75 million in venture capital raised from tier one investors. I think we're about 56,000, a little over 56,000 merchants in actually 67 countries and almost almost 5 billion in transactions to date. 90+ customer satisfaction rating from merchants, and our most successful merchants actually processed 50 million and up per year in online sales. So what is BigCommerce? And BigCommerce is the most comprehensive platform merchants choose to sell more. We are a SaaS-based platform, and just within out of the box, you're able to launch an online store with ease, promote your store to drive traffic. It's optimized for conversion and customer experience. Enable integrations with apps that you already use. In short, really just simplify the entire process of selling online, whereas it used to be in such a bit of a process. Actually, from a proprietary perspective of building online, we're building an out-of-the-box solution that you can build, that you can incorporate with your online store. And this right here is basically, as far as the SaaS solution, I think maybe some of the thought process can be is that you can be a bit limited as far as what you're able to do. And with BigCommerce, there really isn't much of a limitation. It's almost essentially an open platform that allows you to integrate with everything. So this is what the ecosystem looks like. You have your web store, and whether it's from demand generation to linking up with your social, like a Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, a social rich pins to if you're selling on multi-channels from eBay to Amazon to, really whatever, in general, whatever POS you're using, to having your built-in payment integrations, to site management, accounting, and, your ERP, such as Sync, which provides that solution. I mean, as you can tell, we definitely rely on that partner relationship, and that really allows us to maintain that SaaS solution, which is going to provide a user-friendly experience for yourself and as well for your clients and your customers, and also save you a lot of money in the long run. As far as the actual apps are concerned, earlier this year we actually launched our single-click app store. So where it used to be you'd have to click on something, bit redirected, you sent back. It's now single-click. You just click on, and you're able to incorporate your existing, whether it's ERPs, what have you, with ease. And really here, this next slide is really just kind of wanted to touch on the scalability and difference between BigCommerce and some of the other top players that that most clients are really talking about. And BigCommerce has always been from the beginning, a platform that definitely speaks to the SMB, that small and medium business client. And actually, what we've realized over the years is that and especially over the past year, is that we actually have, we do have a robust solution, and we're actually able to scale. So where Shopify, is definitely great for a lot of those small and medium businesses, what we've noticed is that the ones that are, starting to generate a little over 1 million are actually outgrowing Shopify and coming to BigCommerce. And whereas, BigCommerce is maybe up to a $10 million as far as clients, we've actually noticed that, we have clients that are selling 30 million, 40 million, and moving up to, that 40+ million mark. And so, as you'll see, we're kind of that space between of where you have a lot of clients also, that would typically go to Magento for that upper market. And what we realized is that a lot of those clients actually, it didn't actually make sense for them to be on Magento for a typical dev cost of, a six-figure cost of maybe $100,000 for development, and then also the upkeep and do the updates and have to pay someone to manage that was actually a bit too much for them. It was complicated, and so a lot of those clients were actually moving to BigCommerce. And then you have your demandware, which is continuing to move further and further up market. So BigCommerce is now where we're not certainly not abandoning the small medium business client, but we've actually, as of in the past year, rolled out an enterprise offering. And what that's allowed to do is allow the clients to have a hosted platform to integrate with their existing ERPs, POS, what have you, have their custom stores built, have dedicated account management, priority support, and have a much lower dev cost. And so BigCommerce has had this essentially nice space to where, if there's a client up that's, generating up to 1 million, they can stay on BigCommerce all the way through 40+ million. In short, scalable. We're a scalable solution with feature-based plans that can support clients along the way. And that one testimonial you see below is from U.S. Patriot Tactical, and for them it's been a really pleasing experience moving over from Magento, where their load times are taking a long time. They're having to put so many different resources instead of in marketing back into the business. It was just to maintain the business. And on that note, we had put some analysts together of just kind of the cost difference of putting together a self-hosted solution versus a BigCommerce project. And what we realized from a client perspective, from if they were working from a designer as well, that they were the profitability was much larger on BigCommerce, but also the launch time, the getting going and selling online was much, much faster, and it was really able to save merchants a lot of money. in a lot of time and just provide, again, a better simplified user experience. And that really just has to do with, again, being a SaaS platform, leaving the technology to us. Reduces the total cost of ownership. There's no hardware to purchase. Our network operations center handles all the operations. You're going to have a faster return on investment. And for many reasons, definitely going to be faster to launch. In some cases, our enterprise clients, are launched in weeks. Some certainly could take longer, but the dev time for sure is much faster on Bigcommerce. And being 100% SaaS, means all the security updates are rolled out automatically. That means you don't suffer any sort of downtime, and there's no patching to deal with. You can just keep selling online and reinvesting in your business versus people to manage the business for you. Here are a few of the different enterprise clients that we have on board, and again, it's just been a really an exciting and wonderful experience to watch them grow and able to just, again, for their clients, for themselves, it's been a really nice experience. And so really, in short, Bigcommerce is an all-in-one solution. We're an all-in-one hosted solution, and from your website, your domain, registration, shipping, taxes, payment gateway, product catalog, easy-to-use marketing, SEO tools, email accounts. And you might have seen today, it was actually just today, announced our partnership with Alibaba. A lot of talk around Alibaba, but we actually have a partnership with Alibaba, and built into the platform starting early 2015. Our actual merchants will be able to sign up with their services and be able to use those drop shipping services directly within the platform as well. So we're continuing to roll out a lot of new features and exciting partnerships to enable small clients to large to be able to sell to the masses. And as I briefly kind of touched on our Bigcommerce Enterprise, but it's something that we do have an enterprise solution. That's something that we'll definitely be able to hopefully in the next month or so, be able to come back and speak to as far as kind of what that enterprise solution is about, and happy to go in detail for that as well. So I'll go ahead and send that back to you.
Yep, Derek, thanks for your involvement.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, and thank you again for everyone's time.
Yeah. So as the attendees have seen, I hope you guys have watched all the slides which Derek shared. So for your so that the people who have joined later, just I'm quickly showing you the slides again, which Derek shared. So this was the first slide. Regarding Bigcommerce, this is one of the fastest growing e-commerce platform in the world. Some of the features and some of the figures Derek mentioned at a glance in this slide, and how you can quickly launch an online store effectively and without much technical hassle, that has been described in this slide. This is an open platform. That means it has integration with several kinds of other solutions which you require and you are using in your business. This includes some of the marketplaces, because as we know, marketplaces are quite effective in these days as an additional sales channel. It is connecting with some POS systems. It has as-is integration available with the payment gateways. For site management, it has some tools for accounting systems, for ERP systems. We are covering up the ERP integration part. We have some ERP integration, which I will cover in the next segment. So in just a simple word, as Derek mentioned, this covers up, Bigcommerce has integration with all the popular platforms, which helps in some or other way to increase the sales of your within your business. So this is a scalability and differentiation slide, along with other popular e-commerce platforms available in the market like Magento e-commerce, which is an open source e-commerce platform, or Shopify, which is another hosted e-commerce platform. So how BigCommerce plays itself within this different kind of retail clients. This has been shown in this slide, and some of the figures is mentioned. This is showing that how your your profit in just 1 year can provide you a quick ROI investing in BigCommerce. This has been shown in this slide, and some of the core focus, you can say the business benefits: lower total cost of ownership, quicker ROI, faster to launch, and automatic updates, because as we know this is hosted e-commerce platform, so anything is updated in the BigCommerce side. If they come up with some new features, it will be easier to get those patch updates automatically within the system, within your installation, your e-commerce installation. These are some of the clients who choose BigCommerce Enterprise. And BigCommerce Enterprise, so it's an all-in-one solution, meet all of the e-commerce needs. And BigCommerce Enterprise is something which is the latest version, will be just it is launched, and some of the core customers who are using BigCommerce have already moved to this new version. So we'll come up with another session regarding BigCommerce Enterprise where Derek will present this version, and this covers mainly, this is targeted to the medium-sized and large enterprise retail who has some extensive requirement within the e-commerce platform. So now I will move to the integration part. So through APPSeCONNECT integration platform, we can connect BigCommerce with the Back End ERP systems. So by Back End ERP systems, we are meaning we are compatible. That means we can connect BigCommerce e-commerce platform, BigCommerce store, with medium-sized ERPs as well as with large enterprise ERPs. So medium-sized ERPs, we are connecting it with SAP Business One and Microsoft Dynamics Nav. For large enterprise ERP, we have already integration for SAP ECC or SAP Business All-in-One as we know it in some parts of the world, as well as we are working to connect it with Microsoft Dynamics AX version, which is the large enterprise ERP system. So in next 1-2 slides, I will just mention, I will briefly touch why do we need integration as such. So first of all, as we know, in business there are multiple systems. ERP systems are there to handle your accounting, your purchase, your sales, your service cycle if you have some after sale service, your account, your inventory management, your item management. So all these, for all these you are using some ERP system. And for small and mid-sized company, the ERP systems are either SAP Business One or Dynamics Nav. For large enterprise, it can be, for an example, SAP Business All-in-One. But in any way, whenever any e-commerce transaction happen, this need to be recorded to the back-end ERP system through an automatic financial entry. So this is the first point, that if the systems, if the e-commerce and the ERP is integrated, then the financial entry in the accounting module of the ERP system happens automatically, which saves a lot of effort. Now the second benefit is the the situation which, as a consumer, if we search through any site, if we see that there is some product I would like to purchase and that product is showing out of stock, so I become annoyed. So this is one of the common consumer behavior, that when seeing out of stock for any item, they generally get annoyed and they generally leave the site. So it's very difficult to keep the customers if you have some out of stock scenarios showing in your website. But if your ERP and e-commerce is integrated, then whenever any stock update happen within your ERP system through purchase cycle or through production cycle, those stock updates will automatically get reflected within your BigCommerce website. So the clients who are seeing, the consumers who are actually seeing the website accessing, it will actually decrease the out of stock scenarios heavily, and will keep the clients within your site. They will keep their attention within your products. Obviously, order processing is another aspect. As soon as you process the web orders, it will be beneficial for you to get the customer satisfaction, because customer expect a quick delivery. But for that you need a quick order processing. But if you're most of the time require to just enter the order within your SAP Business One or within your Dynamics Nav ERP system, the orders which are came through web, because in shopping seasons we have seen in an average e-commerce website at least in a day 1,000 web orders has been placed. And if you try to add one sales order within your ERP system, it took about 5 minutes by selecting the customer, then selecting the items, quantities and everything, proper shipping method. So all these, if you set up, it takes around 5 minutes. That means to enter 1,000 orders, you need 5,000 man minutes, so which are very difficult to manage in a company. And even in shopping season, we have seen there are several websites where the average number of order per day move up to 40,000 or 50,000 web orders are very common. I'm just mentioning about the order entry. There are other entries as well, like stock updates, price updates, which generally happen in a website. So if you count all these, then it will include, you know, some man hours which are unmanageable by your workforce. But if this is integrated system, then the data can be sync back and forth between e-commerce and the ERP system automatically without any human intervention or without any human re-entry. And the data error will also not happen. So once your data moves back and forth between the systems quickly, you can process your web orders quickly, you can fulfill the delivery, customer get their shipment updates. So obviously if these are automated and happens in a quick manner, then it improves customer satisfaction. And as we know in e-commerce, customer satisfaction is one of the key factors to increase the sales or to sustain the sales even. Inventory management is another aspect which happens properly, which can be managed properly if your e-commerce and ERP is properly integrated. That means based on your web sales, whenever any web sales happen and the sales order has been synced to your back-end ERP system, you can see the frequency and the quantity ordered, and based on that you can plan your purchase or production cycle. So you know prior that during the shopping season previous year I got 100 orders on this item with average order quantity of 3 in each order. So that means 300 quantities per day against this item I received in previous year. You can get this information from your ERP system. So you can plan the purchase or the production cycle for that particular item this year, so that you can fulfill a per day order of at least 300 or 350 quantities for that item. So if you have the figure, then you can manage your purchase cycle or production cycle easily. And the guest checkouts is one of the most common functionality. So there is the, in an easy way you will get all the guest checkout web orders even to your SAP Business One, because as we know in today's scenario, several out of the total web orders, at least 20% or 30% web orders placed through guest customers who are not registered. They just place the order. So if they get the similar kind of efficiency, that means if their web order is processed quickly, if their shipment update receive at their email in quick time, might be in 1 day or 2 days, they will be satisfied, and in next transaction they might register within your website. So it's simple logic. As many as you have registered customers, it will be easier to reach them, and it will be easier to sustain your sales and sustain your profit. So a quick feature, a feature update of the BigCommerce connector that we have. So basically we can sync the customer information from BigCommerce to SAP Business One. SAP Business One is the ERP which we will use in this demonstration. We can sync product from the SAP Business One to BigCommerce, or in reverse direction. That means the item information. So if you have item masters defined within your SAP Business One and you would like to sync that to the web product catalog, that can be easily synced. And web orders can be easily downloaded. One of the key factors for web order mapping, that means web order, when it transformed into the ERP sales order, proper tax value and proper shipping charges need to be mentioned. So in this case we have a mapping process of tax and shipping charges. So that's why exact order total remain in both the platform, in e-commerce and within the ERP system. Stock update is another feature that is available within the BigCommerce connector. So whatever stock update happen in SAP Business One will be synced to your BigCommerce store, and customer will face, the situation will become very less that customer will face out of stock scenarios. Shipment update is another process. That means whenever you process a web order within your back-end ERP system, you create the delivery document from that web order, so that delivery information will straight away reach to BigCommerce store and will update the end customer in their email address. So they will get all the details that their web order has been shipped now. So they will get the shipment information and they can track that. And price updates is the general scenario which happens a lot during the shopping seasons, like the upcoming holiday season, where you will sell, where the business will sell the items in much more discounted manner. So whenever there are any price updates happen for any web item within the SAP Business One ERP system, that price update will also reach to BigCommerce and will update the product catalog. So these are the main features which we are providing within our BigCommerce connector, and this feature will work in the similar manner for the other ERPs like Microsoft Dynamics NAV or SAP Business All-in-One or SAP ECC. So we'll have a quick session where we will try to showcase few of these integration features through a short demonstration. Just be with us. Let me switch to my demonstration system. So we will use, for this demonstration, we will use a demo BigCommerce store. So I will start with the customer synchronization, then I will move to item. So let's start with the customer. Let's create a new customer account. So this is something which a consumer will see when at the time of customer registration. So I'll put up the email address and a password, and then I will enter the shipping details. And the phone number, address line, city, state, and then country. And zip code. I'm just filling up the mandatory fields which are required for a customer registration. So my account has just been created. Now this is APPSeCONNECT agent. So this is a small software which is installed within the SAP server. So most of the integration logic remains within our cloud APPSeCONNECT platform. That means only the integration logic, and we are not storing any data within the cloud. The data synchronization, the transactional data synchronization will happen directly between the SAP server and the BigCommerce web store. So the data sync will be in direct manner, but the synchronization logic, if we have some new features, so all these will be introduced in the synchronization logic in the cloud platform, so that all the customers who are using APPSeCONNECT, they will receive all the feature updates, all the new features came up, all the new patch came up, and we can change their field mapping. So all these settings and configuration details remain within the APPSeCONNECT cloud, and this small agent just performs the data sync. So I'm just going to the sync panel. So we have two connections. One is between BigCommerce to SAP Business One, all the touch points, and another section of touch points is from SAP Business One to BigCommerce. So APPSeCONNECT supports bidirectional integration. So I'm trying to download a new customer, so I will straight away go to BigCommerce to SAP Business One sync panel. All the touch points which are defined within the sync panel will work in a fully automatic manner. That means all the data sync can happen in a fully automatic manner, or we can set the manual triggers. So the configuration depends as per the business scenario. If business demands all touch points to work in a fully automatic manner, we can set that, or we can set it to, for some touch points, it can be set to manual as well. So I just select the process to get new customer. Now I'll move to SAP Business One, and I'll go to SAP Business One master data. So I'll search through the customer name or the customer code. So this is the customer which I have created in BigCommerce, sync back to my SAP Business One. The address which I mentioned is available within the ship to address, and the other information like their email ID, which is the login user ID for BigCommerce, is mentioned here in the general tab. So now I will move to, once the customer is registered, I will move to the item section. So I will create a new item in SAP Business One, and I will upload that to BigCommerce. So I will show you. So just I will move to inventory, item master data, creating a new item. And description. And I'll provide the price. And then I will add this item. So now if I'd like to upload this item to the web, all I can do is I am syncing product between SAP Business One and BigCommerce. So in this case, we are using only the default APIs available. We are syncing the items from item master. If you want to do some kind of filter in the item master data, so let's say you have some item, you have out of all your items, that means you'd like to omit the raw materials and the intermediate goods. So you can omit that. We can selectively upload your ERP items to the web. Also, we support the reverse direction as well. You can add some items in BigCommerce, and that can also be synced back to the SAP Business One ERP system. So I'm trying to log in. So I'll go to products. This is the backend panel for my BigCommerce web store. So I can see this is the product which has been added in the backend, but it doesn't have any stock. So let's take some stock for this item first, and then let's move to the BigCommerce front end. So I will quickly go to inventory transactions, goods receipt, this item, new product test, added stock of 20, providing a unit price, let's say same pricing. So I have taken a stock in a quick manner, not through the proper purchase cycle, and now we can sync whenever any stock update happen, that will be automatically synced back to the BigCommerce web store and update the web inventory. In this case, I'm selecting the manual trigger and performing the stock upload. So once the stock is updated in BigCommerce website, the users, the consumers will be able to place orders on these items. So this is now I can see there is some green stock level, that means some inventory is available, and current stock level is 120. We can sync different combinations of the stock to BigCommerce. That means here we are just syncing the in stock minus committed plus ordered, but we can sync in any other formation. We can sync in stock minus committed or in stock only. So there is configuration option in the inventory management part of the connector. So now I will move to the front end of BigCommerce and go to this item. So first I need to assign this item in to this customer from the backend. So all the items which are available in the BigCommerce backend need to be first assigned to particular categories. So in this case we have omitted the category selection from SAP Business One, but if you want that, if you want to select categories from SAP Business One and then you would like to upload the item to the web, we can also configure that. In this case we have just updated the item, and later on we are assigning category from BigCommerce admin panel. It can be category, it can be product images, because as we know there are image restrictions in the ERP system. That means ERP system will not support adding high definition images against an item, which an e-commerce is easily supports. So that's why the basic information will come from the ERP system, but the particular e-commerce sales information, that means the images, the other categories for the assignment where you'd like to show this product. So these information you can control from your BigCommerce admin panel. So I'm just adding this product to the shopping cart. I have already logged in as a customer. I'm proceeding to check out. So selecting the shipping method, reviewing the order. Any discount which is mentioned in this section will also be shown as a discount in SAP Business One sales order or the ERP sales order. So once the order is placed in the BigCommerce web store, so this is just a demo store, that's why we need to go through another process. So the order has been placed. So these orders can be automatically get sent to your SAP Business One or the any other ERP system that we support. We are supporting order in bulk even. So let's say if in the BigCommerce web store you are receiving order in thousands per day, so all these orders will be synced back to the SAP Business One quite easily without any much hassle. So there is no as such performance limitation. So now the order has been added. We will quickly move to sales AR module and go to the sales order, last sales order. So you can see this is the web order which is placed in BigCommerce, came to the SAP Business One ERP system. The BigCommerce order ID, that means the web order ID mentioned as the customer reference number in within the BigCommerce, and all the other information. If any discount is calculated, those information will also be mentioned in the sales order, and the basic item and the quantity selected is mentioned. The tax which is calculated in BigCommerce will also be calculated in this section, because we have a mapping of tax between the web and the ERP system. So now let's proceed towards the delivery of this web order and let's complete the order cycle. So once we add this delivery, we can sync this shipment details to the BigCommerce system. So we'll go to SAP Business One to BigCommerce touchpoints. We can see there is an option called shipment add. Selecting the manual trigger and quickly adding the shipment to BigCommerce. Now if we move to BigCommerce and go to reload this page, move to my account. So I can see the order has been, status has been changed to shipped. So the order status changes will affect in this manner. So the basic integration points that we have, which we can show in this short period of this demonstration session, we have already shown. So now let me move to the presentation that I have. So I've already covered this demonstration session. So basically, APPSeCONNECT is a product of InSync, and we are integration service provider for more than 4 years, specifically in multiple integration aspects. We have the Magento and SAP Business One integration much longer. That means since last 6 years, and we have already integrated more than 120 businesses across the globe. So now, if you have any question, you can ask me, and Derek is there. So if you have any question, typically for BigCommerce as well, we will be happy to answer all these questions. Also, this webinar session has been recorded. So once this session is over, and I think on Friday we'll be able to get a video uploaded in YouTube, and we will share the video link with you all, so that if you have to share that, you can share this webinar session. You can watch this later as well. So if you have any question, please let us know, so that me and Derek can answer that. So Derek, basically I got some questions for you which already asked. So first of all, is BigCommerce offer plans which are number of transaction based? So that means,
gotcha.
Yeah,
like transaction fees, I guess.
No, I think they are mentioning that regarding the number of transaction. Let's say BigCommerce, as we know, has different plans, which you have not described in this session, but I think people know that it's a hosted platform. So
Right.
are the plans have any limitation on number of transactions, or the question is precisely is the plans are number of transaction based? That means for 1,000 transaction they need to pay this, for 2,000 transactions per month, or they need to pay this. So are the monthly fees in this way?
Right. So yeah. So our plans are historically they used to be product-based plans. So it used to be if you had 100 products, you'd pay this amount. If you had 500, this amount, 1,000, and so on. In March, we released a newer version of our software, what we basically labeled as BigCommerce Next, and we just moved to feature-based platform. It's an unlimited product platform. We don't limit to how many transactions at all. So we have 3 core plans, which is the silver, which is $29.95, the gold, which is $79.95, and the platinum, $199.95, and then we have the 4th, which is the enterprise, starting from $9.99. We don't have any sort of limit whatsoever on transactions. We do have, so on the silver plan is more of a starter plan, someone who's maybe typically not selling more than $500 a month, because that one does have a transaction fee. So typically, if you're regularly selling, you're certainly on an upper plan where you're not limited to that. But as far as number of transactions, we do not limit in any sort of way. That's not, the plans are really more about features, not so much about products or transactions.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thanks, Derek. Okay. So the second question for you is, what is the difference between standard plans and enterprise? Sure.
So the standard plans are again, so they are like specifically feature based. So just as a kind of a high level overview, that silver plan, very much a starter plan, not selling very much. You can still link in your social shops like your Facebook, your Pinterest, rich pins built in, have the payment integrations. You can be selling very easily, very quickly, within the same day. But there are limitations as far as if you're needing to use the API. You're limited on API calls of 20,000 calls to the API per hour. But it's a very basic plan, whereas the Gold plan has some more features. Typically, clients who are selling around 1,500 to 2,000 a month and up go to the Gold plan. There's no transaction fee. You have the abandoned cart saver built in, doing that automatic marketing. If you're wanting to, a lot of those different clients are maybe selling wholesale and resale, so they're using customer groups to target those separately, and certainly selling on multi-channel at that point. And then you have the Platinum, which is, they're moving forward, so they're definitely doing more transactions. And so at that point, a lot of them could really take advantage of something like the Google Trusted Stores, where they're doing, 200 orders per 28 days sales cycle. There's also a white glove setup for someone to assist you with one-on-one consultations. And then that takes you to the Enterprise plan. Enterprise plan is you have unlimited API usage. So when you're maybe building a custom integrated solution, you're selling certainly on multi-channels. You are by minimum multi-channels, but you're getting a custom migration on that. So that US Patriot Tactical from Magento, BigCommerce does in-house migrations for quite a few platforms. I think about 30 of them that I can think off the top of my head, but again, even if they're ones that are not typically on our list, we can probably put together a custom migration for. So you're getting a custom migration. As far as a platform, it's still the same robust platform, but there are more features involved, features and support. One is you get a dedicated account manager who is assisting you through the whole process. They're not just actually and it's not so much just a regular support. It's someone who's actually working with you at looking at your analytics, your conversions, making sure we have something called the Success Squad, so we have someone who's doing one-on-one consultations. You get a priority support. So you're essentially bypassing support to Tier 2, so someone understands the business from a feature perspective. Your unlimited API calls. There's also faceted search feature involved. There was a new analytics that was just rolled out. If you were to go to betterbackend.com, actually it would reroute to BigCommerce, and actually it's basically an analytics tool that's really helping as you're doing your marketing campaigns and ad campaigns and understanding, okay, which items are, it's basically giving you more consumer insight as to kind of like what items are selling well, what are the trends, how long are they staying on the page. Actually, it's quite a bit more than what you would just get from your basic Google Analytics, and it's something that that US Patriot Tactical was a great example too, because it was something that they were paying an enormous amount of money while they were on Magento just to get that reporting. I believe like literally in the hundreds of thousands to get that reporting, and it's just built in. And actually, we have down the line actually a couple more feature rollouts as well. But basically, you're able to put a custom solution is what it's allowing you to do for a platform. The other difference is, whereas the other plans are on a being on like an Amazon, I guess, server, if you will. The enterprise are on a dedicated environment where we use actually IBM for that, but it's a completely dedicated environment, and it really just gives you far more options. Just gives you more options and flexibility. There's a lot of flexibility for the other plans, but even we had a bulk nutrient supplier in Australia. They're the largest bulk nutrient supplier in Australia, and they were on ecommerce, which isn't a platform we typically migrate, but we put together a custom migration and basically are walking them through. So a lot of options of stuff you can do of basically just qualifying and scoping out what your existing environment is, and we're able to make it work within a hosted scenario.
Okay.
So basically, any sort of limitations you might have as far as on the previous plans, whether it's API calls or sort of integrations, or I guess not integrations, but there's really few limitations as far as the enterprise solution is concerned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Derek, another question is, any advantages feature-wise than Shopify? That means, I think, it's he's trying to ask what are the advantages? Name, if you can, few.
Absolutely.
Between Shopify and
absolutely. So there are a couple, but the two I'll really focus on. One is they're I know. Just historically, I'm hearing from really the biggest thing actually is I'm going to talk to is scalability. Is that Shopify does a really great job of of setting up clients who are just getting started. They really do. I mean, they do a great job, but the biggest challenge is that they don't have an ability to scale, and it's really hard as you're getting traction with the business to have to move to another platform. It's a trying process. It's a scary process, and from an SEO perspective, it can be really concerning as well. What I can say, Shopify uses Liquid as far as developing, and I think that as a result has kind of limited to. Although I think they have a Shopify Plus, I think is what it's called, which is their version of an enterprise solution, but I think it's really hard to actually make that scalable. And so whereas BigCommerce, you can actually, just be starting as a mom and pop shop, maybe not selling, just kind of building your presence. You can grow to, doing a couple $1,000s a month to $100,000 a month to $40+ million. So you have complete scalability. You can be on the same platform. That is honestly I would say the biggest difference that I would really focus on, because it's really hard. I mean, your online business, that is your lifeline, and it really, as far as the user experience, it makes it much easier to be able to have one place that you're familiar with. The other part is, we do offer a transaction fee on the lower plan. We're not offering on any other plan, and so the biggest thing I would honestly really focus on is that we are scalable, and I feel like from an SEO perspective that you're actually better off on our platform versus on a Liquid platform. That is one thing that I feel like one of the things that I feel like the founders of this company did really well is when they were building this company, was that they understood from a design development perspective that just using HTML and CSS is a widely used language, and it's easy, and it tends to work really well as far as as people are searching and building, and so that made it for easier designers, developers, and also clients. And it's really just our platform is very SEO friendly, just a drag and drop environment where you can add any sort of tags that you need, or for them just to populate with ease. But so yeah, scalability otherwise is really something I would really focus on.
Okay, I think we have time to answer just one more question, and I think that is related to integration. So the question is, how you are connecting? So just this one. So I assume this is related to integration. So basically, we are using the default APIs provided by BigCommerce. So as we know now in detail that BigCommerce is an hosted e-commerce platform, and it offers the API functions. These are simple functions through which you can connect BigCommerce with the any other third-party systems, the other enterprise systems which are often used in businesses. We are also using having the connector. We are also using the default APIs of BigCommerce, and in the ERP side, we are also using the integration methods available. Like for SAP Business One integration, we are using DI server in the SAP Business One side for this integration platform. We are also compatible with DI API of SAP Business One, but that is an outdated technology, and the performance of DI API are quite slow than DI server. So let's say if you want to sync 1,000 web orders per day from your BigCommerce store to your SAP Business One ERP, you must need to use DI server, because DI API will take at least 3-4 days to sync the 1,000 orders. So this is that slow. So DI server in the SAP Business One side, and the default APIs in the BigCommerce side, which we are using for our integration connectors. In this webinar, we have just shown the BigCommerce and SAP Business One. That's why I'm mentioning this API functions. I assume your question is related to BigCommerce and SAP Business One here. So Derek, I think several questions are associated with BigCommerce Enterprise. So I think soon me and Derek was discussing that if possible in next month we might be conducting a demonstration session for BigCommerce Enterprise itself, where Derek can explain what are the features, what are the advantages, how BigCommerce Enterprise is different than the conventional e-commerce platforms, as well as the other BigCommerce plans which they have, what are its advantages, the unique features to support large enterprises, retail business and e-commerce business. So I think if we can plan something, Derek, that will be great.
Sure, absolutely. No, and we definitely can. So we can probably on that first date or that second date we talked about in November, I'm sure we can get something out very quickly. So I would definitely be on the lookout for that, because I'd be more than happy to present and speak to our enterprise specifically.
Yeah. So I hope you have all enjoyed the session. Thank you all for your time, and I'd like to thank Derek as well for participating in this webinar and explaining BigCommerce and its features and its place in the e-commerce community as such. So Derek, if you can speak something regarding the participation and the experience in the webinar.
Sure, absolutely, yeah, and thank you again for having me. This is really exciting, and I know just BigCommerce is really excited to be working with you all as well, and we certainly see the value, and really just excited about that partnership, and definitely I appreciate everyone's time who's joined today, and definitely hope to see you as we speak to the enterprise. But hope that gave you some insight in regards to BigCommerce and just kind of what the platform is about and what that ecosystem is about. And you're certainly always open to if you have questions after the fact to reach out, and I'm happy to chat about it. Really excited about what we're doing, and really just a continued goal of, along with InSync as well, just providing a great user experience.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. So we'll be sharing all the video links specifically for this webinar with all the attendees as well as all the registrants who has registered but might be due to some reason, due to some time lag, they are not able to attend this session. And also I will get a report on the questions that you asked. So if any question is unanswered in this session, we will specifically answer in direct email to the person, to the attendee who asked the question. Thank you all for your participation, and wish you a nice day ahead.
Thank you again. Have a good day.
Yeah.